Okay, ladies and gents, so I'm gonna talk to you guys about the beef, or I guess the ongoing feud right now between penguinz0, aka MoistCr1TiKaL, who happens to be one of my favorite YouTubers. Hey man, I mean, he's one of the OG YouTubers. He's been around since the days of Black Ops 1, since the days when YouTube had that yellow subscribe button, and when you could message people on YouTube and have that, you know, and just exchange messages. Like, yeah, I still remember those days of YouTube, especially the parts where you could rate a video from 1 to 5 stars. I still remember that YouTube. I still remember that when I first discovered YouTube and all that stuff in 2009 and all that. And obviously, Sneako, I guess in a way, he kind of went out of his way to basically insult Critical and his girlfriend. And, you know, in that, I guess, video, Sneako literally flashed a firearm on camera. That's right. And I guess you could say that MoistCr1TiKaL responded in his own way of him basically showing the difference between, I guess, a clip and a magazine and all that. But that's not really what I'm here to talk about. What I'm really here to talk about is just offer some real, I guess you could say, professional advice for Sneako. Even though I'm not a you know, a therapist or a psychologist, because obviously I feel like that Sneako, in my opinion, you know, this is my real honest advice here on this whole thing, because I want to be professional about this, because as you guys know, the only reason why I think Sneako is just acting like this on camera is because I feel like he's just basically battling personal demons, because I feel like he's still, I guess in a way, kind of having issues getting over with the breakup with his girlfriend. That's my whole understanding of this thing, and the only reason why I think Sneako is just like this on camera and all that, because obviously, as you guys know, if there is one thing that I hate seeing a content creator go through, is them battling personal demons on camera, especially yeah, them battling personal demons. That's one thing that I just absolutely hate to see a content creator go through. So in my honest opinion, so for some professional advice for Sneako, I would honestly have to say, if I'm Sneako, I would consider talking to a therapist, you know, just because my biggest concern about this whole thing is that I really don't want Sneako to go down the same path like how Etika did, because as you guys know, Etika, obviously, may he rest in peace, you know, it's going to be exactly 4 years since Etika passed away, since Etika sadly took his own life. And as you guys know, I can relate to that thing, because obviously I dealt with my own hardships in life, you know, especially when I was 20. One of my best friends that I knew since I was 5 years old, since I was a toddler, he took his own life, and that really mentally affected me to the point where basically the best way that I can describe is that after that I struggled. I did, you know, I was the type of struggles that I dealt with mainly was me debating whether I should also end my life like how my friend did, or live to see another day. That's really the struggles that I dealt with, especially when it comes to losing a childhood friend to suicide, because obviously suicide is never the answer and all that. And if there's one thing that in a way helped me get rid of those deep dark thoughts inside my head, was therapy, because obviously, let's be honest, I did consider therapy. I was one of those people that was willing to go to therapy as a way to help see how I could get over this really terrible heartbreak and tragedy and all that. And I personally think that losing a childhood friend is way worse than just dealing with a breakup, whether you broke up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, etc., etc. Now, of course, this is my opinion, and I know that probably not everybody might agree with me on this topic, but hey, this is what I would really do if I'm Sneako, just because, listen, man, with Sneako, I just think that if he just talks to a therapist, maybe he can get over his breakup with his girlfriend, because the way how I see it, I just think Sneako is still having issues with getting over and moving on from breaking up with his girlfriend. That's really my whole understanding of this, and why I think Sneako was like this on camera, because as you guys know, you know, going back to the whole Etika thing, Etika, if I remember correctly, he lost one of his brothers died, and I imagine that's most likely mentally affected Etika in the years leading up. And I just don't want this whole thing to turn into another Etika type of thing, because obviously I feel like this is another great example of why men's mental health really needs to be taken seriously. Like, let's cut the BS here. You know, this is why men's mental health really needs to be taken more seriously. Like, seriously. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to say here in this video, just because I really feel like I have nothing much else to say about this, just with the advice that the professional advice that I have for Sneako. Even though, like I said, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist, if I'm Sneako, I would just talk to a therapist, and that's what I would honestly do, because let's be honest, hey, maybe this can, I guess you could say, help Sneako out and all that, because hey man, I hate seeing Sneako, you know, go through these personal demons, especially with him, you know, just acting out of the ordinary on camera, and him going out of his way just to, I guess, defend cuties for some dumb reason. Like, I feel like a lot of this just has to do with him battling personal demons. So this is why I think if I was him, I would just talk to a therapist. That's what I would do. So that's pretty much the video here. Got nothing much else to say, so take care, ladies and gents.